Emotional overwhelm has a spiritual meaning. You are not alone. Watch to discover the hidden gift inside your pain. Welcome, my soul seekers. It is time for us to take a look at something I'm definitely going through and shooting from the hip today. And as I work through this for myself, I'm going to invite you to come along and sit with me, beside me. And you can certainly in the comments add more to this reading, this rendition of what it is all about when we are in emotional overwhelm and that whole spiritual meaning of it. I'm going to tell you right now that going through it is so much different than being on either side of this particular mountain. It is one where I've been through it, thought I had the answers, and then I had to go through it and got on the other side. Again, thought I had answers. Well, this one is, a whole other arena of emotional overwhelm like nothing I've ever seen and felt before. And each one is unique as we are individually unique. And each one will be focused on a season and cycle of your life that has its own story to tell. And I'm here to tell you that I'm going to suggest there's no right or wrong way in how you approach this, even if there's a part of you that wants to judge yourself. I'm going to recommend you don't, that you really hold something very precious about yourself and your soul in your little hands and know that you're held by a divine love that is far beyond anything you could ever feel, sense, or know. I say this from the bottom of my heart. That's interesting. I did not expect to be saying this to you, but I really feel this is coming through for all of us because it is really unique in our process. So as you're going through your soul life living, you're hunting for the gems within yourself and what this whole life thing is all about and what it means and how do you navigate it. One of the things that is coming forward for me is knowing that those eras, those times when you have to go through something that you would never try to go through, and to find out that commitment you made, say, to a lover. We talk about lovers all the times in the tarot decks. They come up from time to time. For me, that's really, what are you willing to commit to? Who are you going to commit to? What would you marry yourself to in a contractual agreement? And that can be a lot of times with another person, a lover, a significant other. It could be something like a contract and something that you're really going to give your full heart and soul to. A partnership in business would be another one that would come to my mind. But just something that says, this is my choice. I'm making this choice and I'm going forward with it full on. Well, one of the things that could happen ultimately is emotional overwhelm. And as I look at this, I'm finding myself being caught in a dilemma much like this, even though it's not really a dilemma so much as it is something that I have to really go through. I'm not going to get around it. I suppose I could, but there's a part of me, the commitment I made, the contract I signed, all the things that are at this point in time quite emotionally overwhelming is part of the deal. And sometimes that's hard to envision, especially when you're much younger and you're in the early days and everybody's healthy, everything's strong. You have a world to conquer and life to live and homes to buy and kids to raise and careers to enjoy and friends to make and new adventures all around, through and through. It's just an amazing life. And your soul is with you every step of the way. And everything is like, are you going ego on this? Or are you going to go soul led on this? And it's such an interesting dilemma. Oh, when I was younger, it used to be they'd always have the devil and the angel on either shoulder, and it was like, who are you gonna listen to? There's an Indian proverb about wolves, a hungry wolf or a satisfied wolf, and which one are you going to feed? Knowing what part of yourself you're going to support in this relationship, in this commitment that you've made, and are you going to fulfill it even to the bitter end? Even if it means emotional overwhelm. You're here with me. We're working on this one together, because I'm telling you what, it's not an easy question. It's not one that I fully anticipated, although you kind of know that, when you're getting involved with somebody, you know that they may betray you, or they may leave you stranded, or not because they meant to, but just did, or just things didn't work out. It's not like anyone's wanted to do this to you. It just is part of life. It happens. And there's no getting out of it unless you want to run away. And I suppose you could do that, but you wouldn't want to be in a reverse situation where someone who you really trusted and loved, cared about, just up and left you. So you're in that emotional overwhelm of, I am going to do unto this person as I would love to have them be able to have done for me. Interesting. So what do you do? I'm going to suggest we ask the Soul Life Treasure Hunt game board system, because I'm doing my best, and I'll bet you if you're in emotional overwhelm as well, you are also doing your very best. And it's so nice to have some type of system in place ahead of such times as these, when you actually can get in alignment with spirit. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to do, is to make sure that now, even if you don't have an emotional overwhelming moment, or you anticipate that could possibly happen at some time, now is your time, because you're watching this right now, probably because you're being guided by spirit to just say, let's get this in place so that when the time comes, we have a clear channel to talk to you and help you through whatever comes up for you. Vice versa, maybe you're after something and you can now take this whole recording and go back through the experiences and bring it back up to present moment and say, that makes sense. That was a choice. Would I make a different choice in the future? Would I stand by those choices that I did make and see something about your truth? And I'm hoping you're going to find ways to just love on yourself, because until you are in the midst of something very overwhelming, you're never really going to be able to know. You can say wise things to people, you can say wise things to yourself and have the best intentions. But what if you're in the middle of it? What would you then do if all the best intentions, all the good words and advice just didn't quite hit where you need it right now? Let's go to Soul Life Treasure Hunt and figure it out together. All right, I'm going to go with the purple dice because it just feels really good. So I am going to ask about thriving in the emotional realm. How do we do that? And we're going to the emotional realm. Love it. 3 and 2. 2 and 3. Okay. We're going to faith. And faith is part of the throat chakra. Interesting. Speaking our truth. I've often thought of the whole walking my talk is part of this as well. What's interesting is it's in the alignment corridor, the gateway of being in the direct channel with spirit. And so this makes perfect sense to me as I'm looking at how to navigate through this, is this whole idea that we are here for very specific reason. So if you're feeling this overwhelming emotional moment, era in your life, or you know someone who is, you know that it's perfect. Every time I have ever gone through moments like these, something very amazing comes up and out of me, much like a phoenix bird would come up out of the ashes. It's that whole, I never knew I was this strong and capable of really making solid, strong decisions because I have to stand by myself. It's only between me and God now because I can't depend on another person in this situation. They're incapacitated. It could be they're not here anymore. It could be many reasons for why you're in this particular situation, needing to ask, how do we thrive? How do I thrive in the midst of all this emotional churning, the chaos that's going on, the things that are being asked of me that I never anticipated that would be on my plate. That was somebody else's decisions and somebody else's responsibilities. And I helped out. They helped me. We did it together, those types of things. But what is interesting is we have messages coming to us through our emotions that, as you recall, our bodies are like antennas. And the divine can really bring so much of that to our awareness. And I'm going to say that I've noticed that how, as an empath, I am beginning to understand my body even more when it comes to times like these, when my loved one is going through a really bad situation. Sometimes I'm taking that on and it's coming into my body and expressing itself. And it's like, this is mine? Why is this mine suddenly? And now I'm able to ask the question, what if it isn't exactly mine, but it is mine to clear and do what I can because I can sense and feel what's going on with my loved one. That body message, that soul level message, soul to soul, remember we're eternal beings, maybe that is helping you to know what needs to be healed, what needs to be attended to. Maybe there's an issue then you can handle as long as you know what it is. And what better way than our bodies being able to say, this hurts. Why would this hurt? It's because your loved one is hurting there. And that gives you some type of guidance to be able to ask and research and find solutions and help them heal as well as yourself, because we're all one together. And I'm just finding this fascinating. I'm sitting here listening to myself tell you what I'm experiencing and what is coming through right now as we are exploring this whole concept of faith, using our throat chakras and knowing that somehow it actually does have a good reason for us to be in this place, even though we'd like to run away and not have to deal with this, right? Why would I be here if I didn't want to be here? I want to be love and light and positive thoughts and doing all the law of attraction stuff. But sometimes life hands us what life needs us to face and do our alignment work, the things we know about being in direct communication and having peace. No matter what the situation is, we can be at peace. At the heart of the matter is what really matters to us, and what is that all about? And then this whole harmonizing, balancing piece of maybe it's just a little bit out of whack. Maybe it can't be what you had envisioned forever. And sometimes that's like, thank goodness. And other times it's like, well, why can't this Camelot era just go on forever? But it doesn't, does it? It needs to transition. And we need to change and transition with these changes and become more from them rather than be diminished by them. That was a good one too. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. All right, let's take a look. Now that we know where we're going with this, we're going to take a look at the Millennium Thoth deck and bring out the Heart of the Matter card. I really want to go through that with this concept. So I'm just, as you know, just mixing up the cards to see and asking the Holy Spirit, what are we looking at the heart of the matter? What is going on? Betrayal. That whole, our hearts are pierced. Our ego says it's bad, but there's a part of us that is also knowing that we have to balance it because life isn't always going to give us everything we want. And Saturn at the hilt here, which is the lesson, and the moon is very intuitional here. These crescent moons, I think, are telling me quite a bit here. But you can see the piercing of a broken heart, the whole idea that it's reverberating, and it's reverberating in the heart shape, which is quite fascinating, with these like lightning strike kinds of ideas of where you can see the lightning coming off of the power of that sword just hitting us right where it hurts most. So this whole thing that you're going through, it does hurt. It hurts really bad. But let's go ahead and take a look at what our soul would like us to take a look at to balance better, because these times come to all of us. It's in tarot decks all over, wherever you go. It's in oracle cards. It's in books and movies and music and the stories we tell, the lives we lead. Okay, and that is Ace of Cups. Love that. That there is a new life, a new emotion that our soul is wanting to rebirth in us. The next new love, the next new understanding, the wisdom of what love really is. And it changes in ways that we don't have control over. So knowing that is important. And how do you balance to be able to know that the love you have right now and the love you had before, the love you anticipated experiencing in the future, that it's all here right now, and it's all together in your mix of what is, sometimes it's going to hurt, sometimes it's going to be feeling like the greatest blessing, but they all can have that ability to give us greater joy ultimately, even if in the moment it's not always feeling that way. Let me tell you, I've got one of those moments going on. And what we're conscious of is Princess of Pentacles. I love that. Let's look at this one. Princess of Pentacles. Princesses are very curious, very explorative, and interested in trying new things. So we are looking at a earthly experience and ready to just really go out and try new things. Love it. If you've ever grown up and you were ready to get out there in the old world and try things, you've been in the Princess of Pentacles energy. You know what that looks like. You know what that feels like. So you know that is a truth of you. You know how to do this. It's going to feel kind of different, but staying curious is really a big part of the wisdom I'm seeing here. How do we thrive in this emotional realm of overwhelm, and just as we do with all the other times where it's just fantastic? And how do you do that? We're looking at how it came to be, and that is the Prince of Cups mission. Remember, we talked about that mission. We're all in a mission of love. We're all here to learn more and more about love. That Prince of Cups, he has what it takes to carry with him the gifts of love and know that wherever he's going, more love. I can see more heart energy around him, going and skimming above the overwhelming emotions that I don't see a lot of places to land and to step out of this chariot. But basically, he's flying along because it has the ability for him to get to a destination that it's going to take a while. I can feel like it's going to take some time. There's not right now a lot of places to land in this situation. Boy, that's speaking truth right there. There we go. Let's take a look at the trajectory of where this is all kind of heading toward. Heading toward strength, lust. Toth Tarot, it is lust, but in regular Rider-Waite-Smith, it is strength, so it's an equivalent. But it is the concept for me of noticing how she's writing ego. Ego is not in charge, but ego is her servant, and she's holding all the beauty and all the elements of what she has learned and the wisdom, the knowing that this whole thing, if I don't know, it could be a she, might be a he, but anyway, the idea is spirit is everywhere all around, and she knows that she has this support, this power, and this mandate to lift her emotions to the heavens and know that everything is being answered. It doesn't have to look exactly the way she would maybe mandate it, but no matter what happens, she is able to see that it all made sense. I love that. We're going to see what the bridge is between the being on a mission and arriving at that awareness that you have come through a broken heart and you know more about yourself and the divine than you ever could have known any other way. There was no other way to get that level of traction in your life, that your soul could come up, rise up, and be counted. And it is the duality. Number two of Pentacles, taking the expansion of the light, the illumination, and the dark, the moon, the intuition, and being able to take those dreams and the light of awareness to them. And it does cycle through, and it does cycle through every one of the elements, all of the various elements of how our earthly existence is based upon. And the Capricorn sign here is very wise and has been through a number of these experiences and really has been able to take all of the good, the bad, the ugly, and expanded it into something that makes perfect sense for a life well lived. And you've seen many great couples, for instance, and one may pass away, leaving the other one, and that has to be really hard. And yet they have built together quite a legacy and a unity between the two of them that the other one's able to carry on. Very interesting to look at that. And some people, their marriages, they just fade together. Some are broken. So it's in our alignment, our choices of, do we go for more love? Do we go toward finding what love really is? What are we looking for? We're looking for more love, even if we're being broken and betrayed. And that could be in any kind of relationship, partnership, beloved, whatever. Your children could break your hearts, and you would still need to find a way to still love and see that things happen at times, whether you want them or not. They're going to cycle through. That's part of the earthly existence. But to come through knowing that whatever happens, whatever mission is in front of you, that you will become stronger from it and for it. And that's how we do that. Wow, I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm very, very encouraged. Oh my goodness. I just looked at the bottom of the deck and joy is coming through. Oh my gosh. I know you saw me. I was shuffling these cards, but these two right here have come back to show me that it's fine. Oh, and Knight of Cups. So, our emotional realm is such that we are built to take all the rough waters, and we can see all the lessons that we've learned, the beauty of life, all the things, and we can still find the way to nurture ourselves, to thrive, to heal from such things, and to avoid suppressing our journeys. Many times people will just clam up and they'll think they can't do anything that it used to be, so maybe they just have to shut down. And I'm not getting that. Instead, I see that we are supposed to become even more. And part of that is to really become even more and lead with our hearts again. So even if it's kind of yucky right now, I'm going to say it's yucky right now. I don't like this. I don't want this. But it is what it is, and that's how we all are getting through it. And I'd love to hear more about your experiences. So tell me down in the comments, like and share, obviously, especially to anyone who just needs some encouragement. I know I needed encouragement, and you came along with me as I use this board all the time for what is going on. What am I not seeing? What can I do differently? Am I on track? What encouragement can you give me for my ability to move through this more healthily, more compassionately with myself, to release what is hitting my nervous system and my body, and my poor antenna of a body is just kind of giving me all these things that I'm trying to understand. What is its language? What is it telling me? And it is so helpful to let Spirit guide me as I go through all of this. So you're along for the ride, that's for sure. And I'm here for you as well. Well, we are going to be next going into the expanded version for my membership. You can get more details down in the description. But in the membership, we're going to fill in all of the other areas of what is the purpose of this? Because why would I need this in my life, and what other outcome is going to actually evolve from this? And there's just so much in there. You'll catch that over in the membership. But basically, then we'll throw some other cards, some more information. It's really fascinating to get universal wisdom. That's what I love, is I don't want to just be one type of spiritual journey. I want all the goodies of all the various wisdoms, because what I'm finding is we all come together as a unified one voice, that this is kind of the way life goes. It doesn't always give you rainbows and unicorns, and sometimes you do have mourning and grief And how do you process that when you're feeling like you did all the things and you did everything just the way by the book, and you followed all the laws and you did all the journeys and everything that you thought was necessary to have a simple, easy life, and now life isn't so simple and easy anymore? That's how you know you're really loved. Isn't that weird? That's just like, what? But I'm going to tell you, that's how we all know we're really loved, because we have the ability to align ourselves with the highest and best within us. And no matter what flows in and out of our lives, we can always make better decisions, make greater sense of it, and find our way to our own truest heart of all that matters to us as individuals and a collective unity of one. Much love. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Till next time.